Hi everyone, I'm Christine Josty at Mail Something Pretty, and I have these fun drink cards to show you. You can make all sorts of cocktails and mocktails and all sorts of things with these. Actually, I'm going to show you the stamp set first before I show you the cards. So it is called Cheers and Sips, and you can see it has all sorts of garnishes. So you have celery and mint, olive, raspberry, or blackberry. That can be a lemon, a lime, a orange, or even a grapefruit. Strawberries, ice cubes. You have a fancy umbrella. I say cherry, mint, celery. I can't remember. This can be lavender, but you could also turn it into thyme. You have a nice olive stick and rosemary, and you have two different size glasses. And some fun words to use. So it's a cute, fun set. You can use just the fruits. You don't even have to use the glasses or anything. You can do fruit cards, but you can also do some fun things. And it also, this is messy, but it also comes with a whole bunch of dies that go with each of the elements. So it's fun, and there's paper that goes with it. And so this is located not in the catalog, although I'll show you a little peek of where you can get some of it. But it's just on the online store, the stampinup.com store. And it goes with this. I'm going to actually show you this paper last. This fun paper. I've used a whole bunch of it, so it's all different pieces. But you just have some flowers. You can use flowers and some fun stripes. You do have some different drinks, and you can cut some of these out with scissors to use them, but also just the plain ones here. Well, you can use the dies for. So up here, you can use the dies for that and just cut those out. So this paper has lots of possibilities, and then a fun, bright pattern on the back. Let's see. You have some fruit paper, and some, hopefully you can see it's that dark new Secret Sea color. Some lavender, and just some green graphics. That piece I already showed you. See, I don't know if I showed you that piece. And then this is comes with, this is the back side. But at first I saw this paper. I'll turn it around this way, and I was thinking, you know, you can get, if you're doing like backgrounds of cards, you could get 3 going this way or 4 going this way. But I thought that was a funny layout. But that's really not why it was. You can use it as a big scrapbook layout, and I think that's cool. And actually, I'll show you an example of that. But what's really cool is you can stamp. So there's a tall glass. You can stamp right on that and then cut it out. You can do the same thing with like the little ones, and then you get instant colored drinks. So that's what I think is cool. And that's what I'm going to show you here. So this one is a nice Bloody Mary. So I had used that paper. I actually even left a little bit of it empty on top. So the white, just a nice little lavender lemon spritz, or I don't know. I don't know a lot about drinks. Here's a little strawberry lemonade. So that could be a mocktail or a cocktail. And same with this one. I did strawberry, lemon, mint with a little umbrella. And so wait till you see this fold. So it opens up like that. Isn't that cool? So just like that. So I'll show you where I got the inspiration for. And I used, on this one, I used some of that drink pattern paper. On this one, I used some of the fruit paper. So it's kind of cool and fun. You can customize it. So this is where I got my inspiration for the card. Cindy had sent me a birthday card. I'm actually going through, it's almost been 6 months for my birthday, but going through all my birthday cards and kind of copying all the styles that everyone had made me. So she had done this one. So I just measured everything and figured out, I don't even know the name of this fold. So if you happen to know the name of this fold, please let me know, and I can put that in the description. But it's just kind of fun. So that's what we're going to make today. We'll see. I'm not even sure what kind of drink we're going to make yet. These are all different, so I'm trying to make them all different. Let's put them all over here for the time being. Okay, so the first thing we need is, and I have all the measurements here for you, is we're going to use a good portion of the paper. So I'm using here thick white. You can use anything you want. You can customize these cards any way you want. So my card base is going to be 11 by 5.5. So this is 11 already, so I'm just going to cut at 5.5 this way, like that. So this can be used on some of the panels if you want. You can just use some scraps for the panels here or anything else. But I'm just going to put that aside. So now we need to score. I'll open up my arm. I guess I need to move these. Okay. So we are going to score it so it's in the landscape positions like that. And we're going to score all of these measurements. So 1 5/8, 3/4, 3 1/4, 7 1/2, and 9 1/8. So we're going to do 1 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 1/4, 7 1/2, and 9 1/8. All right, so it's all symmetrical. So I could have done those two, and I could have flipped it and done the same two, or you can just do all of them just like what I just did. I think that's all I need the cutter for. We'll find out. I already cut my little pieces. So when we go to fold it, I'm going to kind of fold it in this way and then back this way. And I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll fold in and then fold out. And definitely give it a good burnish with either your bone folder or a little scraper or whatever. So you have this motion here. Okay, so that's kind of the construction of the card, and then we're just going to add all sorts of pieces. So I already have them cut and labeled. Move that over there. So let me set them up. Kind of put them in the right, the middle, and the left side here. I'm not sure which pattern I'm going to use yet. Okay. So we'll just use this one. For the right side, right? So this is the right side. So that the white is 2 1/4 by 4, and then the solid is just a little bit bigger, 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then the middle, that part, the white is 2 3/4 by 4, and then the solid is 3 by 4 1/4. And then the left side, and for this case, you know, I use pattern paper on the top. So the solid is 3 by 5. And then I have, let's see, I'll show you the two patterns. So my two options, and we'll decide later, is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. So that's the left side. I'll just put it down like that. Okay, so that's our panels. They go on top like that. So now, I'll leave those there for a second, and we are going to stamp some fruit in a glass. So I think I'm going to stamp, where'd my paper go? There we go. I'm going to use Stays On Black because I'm using my watercolor pencils. You can color however you'd like. So if you use anything that involves water, such as the watercolored pencils, or if you were just going to use a blender pen and like pick up some ink and color, you want to use the Stays On Black. If you were going to use the Memento, if you're going to use the blends markers, you would use the Memento Black, or I've actually seen different examples using like emboss resist, which I want to do. It looked really cool with the white embossing powder. All right. Oh, let's do that one again. Ah, that's much better. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to use my watercolored pencils, And I'm going to take out, so I've mint and I'm going to do the lemon. So I'm going to use a yellow, it might need to be sharpened, and I'm going to use garden green. Let me actually, I always keep my little sharpener close by when I use my pencils because they do need to be sharpened every so often. Okay. So you can either, sometimes I color first and then cut, and sometimes I cut first and then I color. I think just for right now, I'm just going to color first. And the reason why I cut first is if you do all this coloring, and this is quick coloring, so that's why I'm not too worried about it. But if you're doing intricate coloring on things, you may want to cut first, because if you do all this beautiful coloring and then you cut and it slips and it moves and it doesn't cut exactly how you want it, then you have to do it all over again. So sometimes I will cut first. All right, so you can see that was pretty fast coloring, nothing so great, but I'm going to use my blender pen and this will make it better. So you actually get, I only have 2 here, but you actually get 3 pens in a pack. They're all the same. The 2 tips of the pen are the same, so you get you have a long life in them, and you can kind of see probably that it's a little stained. I just run it on some white plain paper until I know that there's no ink or pencil or color on it, and then I just go over like that and it smooths it out. And then when I want to I use yellow first, I probably should use green so you can see it better, but you run it till it's clear and then you go on to the next color. And what's cool is if I had happen to use 2 colors in one image, you can kind of blend them together. So I always make sure it's clear before I put the cap on, but I also always make sure when I go to use it, it's clear in case I forgot or someone used it and didn't clear it or something. So that's just symbol coloring. So we're going to use, oh actually, no, we're going to stamp. We're going to stamp. I have cut, so I take these out and I cut different ones out. So I think we'll just use this one because it's right here. So that's a smaller one. So we'll use the smaller drink size. Do I have that on a block? I thought let me just check in the case. It's not there, so it should be here. Let me look quick, and if I don't find it, we'll do a tall one. Okay, we'll just do a tall one. So I'll probably find it afterwards. We'll just do this one. So it's on the end. We'll save that for another project. All right. So I'm just going to, so you can, like I said in one of the examples, you can shimmy it up if you want to have a little white, or you can have it go down. How about we have this one? We'll go up a little bit. So it's not a full drink. Ooh, that was kind of close. Let's see, how's the dye gonna work? You know what, let me just do another one. I'll still use that one, but I just wanted to show you how it cuts. So this one, all the blobs are slightly different sizes. So this one is a full. Okay, so we're going to use this die. I'm going to close up the ink with my scissors. Oh, actually, I'm just going to cut this out so it's a smaller piece to work with on my machine. Okay, move that up. And here we are. So these are actually, each of these are not so hard to cut it with scissors. So you certainly could cut with scissors, but comes with the dies if you get the bundle. So you might as well use the dies. So this lines up pretty easy. And then the mint, and I'm going to do it this way. So the citrus, whatever it is, an orange, a lime, or lemon, it's not exactly, hopefully you can see, not exactly perfectly round. This is like little bump. So when you look at the die, I can see that the bump is kind of right here. So you just want to line those two up. That's the only one I think of this whole set that you have to think about. All the rest line up pretty easy. All right, make sure we're in camera here. So this comes out like that. Nice little drink. You get your mint. You get your lemon. And we're not going to use that one because it didn't stamp so good. The other thing I want to show you that comes with these dies is this piece. So you can use the tall glass, oops, and this piece together. You can even cut them at the same time. This actually doesn't cut, it just imprints, and then that one cuts. So you can use this just as a background, or you can cut it. And I have one to show you what that looks like. So it's almost like a just a design in the glass, etching, so it's kind of cool. So that's just another option to point out. All right, so that's done. And the only other thing I'm going to use my machine for is these little mini embossing folders. You get 2 in a set, and they're called Glassing Gardens, and this is part of this whole suite. Hopefully you can kind of see through them. So this is just like a middle part of outline of flowers, and then this is mimics a little bit that frosted glass, a little bit. Look, and so we're going to use this one on the card. And so this is just a regular embossing folder. It's not a 3D. So when you do that, you kind of remove this piece, and then we use 2 clear plates. So I'm going to use this right side, this white, to put this in, and hopefully you can see. On this side, it's like, you know, it's a nice pattern that kind of runs probably about halfway. And then on this side, you can see that the pattern kind of, it's like an Escher print, you know, it kind of disappears. And I like that. So I'm going to just use, I always use this line on the bottom here too to help me guide that it's straight. So I want to kind of get that look. So I'm going to put it like that, put it in here, I'll put it back in our machine. When they design these embossing folders, these mini ones, to fit in the mini machine, I just happen to have my big machine here, so I just used it. So you can use these on either. But you get this, hoping you can see it because it's on white, but you got this kind of fun design. All right, so now we can put our card together. So we'll actually just first start with putting our panels together. So I'm just going to glue those 2 together. And this pink here I'm using is Strawberry Slush. This is a color that we used to have years ago, and then they retired it. They retired a whole bunch of colors, and then they brought it back, which I'm really happy about because it's a nice pink. And it's one of the new in colors that every year they introduce 5 new in colors. So this is one of them. Actually, and I like all of the in colors this year. Each year they're kind of different. So the ones they just retired were a little bit more on the neutral side, and these are kind of a brighter. Oh, I have to decide which one I'm using. Let's see, what do I have? I might have 2 and 2. Yep. Just trying to think. I have 2 of the fruit papers here and I have 2 of the drinks papers there. So which one do I want to do? I'll do this one because I'm going to have a lemon in there. Okay, they're both good choices. Oh, I didn't even show you this backside. I love this backside, the strawberry slush polka dots. And I like how they have this, so it can be mocktails and cocktails. Certainly that is, to me, it looks like strawberry lemonade, just plain lemonade. So I like how they did that. So you can kind of, it can be for anybody. All right, so those are our panels. I'm going to stamp cheers in that now before I put it in the card. And I like cheers because that can be like, you know, congratulations, good luck, hello. All right, so we're going to put this one in the middle. I'm just going to do my best to center it like that. And then we'll put our left side on first. It doesn't really matter, but we'll put our left side on first. So it's going to go like that. So there's going to be a border on 3 sides, and this part's going to be hanging off. So I just want to have glue on that side. Because if you put glue on the whole thing, the card will be glued shut. And that's not what we want. Okay. So there's one side, and then this side will go on top like that. So you can either glue this on now, or if you want to build your drink. So let's, maybe we'll build our drink first before we put that on there. So I've been putting my glass, both the short and the tall, kind of offside because I'm going to put some words here. So that will kind of go around there. Just before I glue it down, I just want to see what I'm doing. I have mint. Oh, and you can also stamp ice cubes. There is an ice cube stamp. This one I didn't do. This one I did. So let's see what kind of drink we do before I decide. I think I might also, I have a few extras that I did. I had the oranges. That would make like a nice Aperol spritz. I was just at a restaurant yesterday, and actually the table next to us was having Aperol spritzes. So I might have some lavender because I have some raspberries and cherries and celery. So let's see. But I'm going to use my lemon. I don't even know if this is a real drink, but we're gonna make it a drink. I don't know if we did. Yeah, I have to look up to see what you put raspberries in. But that would look cute on the bottom. Maybe we'll do that. I haven't done that yet, or I haven't even used the cherries yet. So anyways, lots of possibilities, but I think we'll go with this. The other thing is, and maybe actually I'll do this, you can also cut your lemon in half. So if you spin it around, you'll at one point you'll see that there is kind of a line that goes straight through. So you can make lemon wedges. So I can even have a lemon wedge. That will get tucked in like that. We'll do something like that. Okay, we'll decide about the raspberry. So now I'm gonna kind of take these apart and just glue from the back front. So if that was gonna go there, that will go about there. Oh, actually, do I have 2 sprigs of lavender? I wonder if that would look good. Since I cut my, oh, I think I'll do that. So let me do a quick color. So what you could do sometime, I always lose my purple. If you watching a movie or videos or whatever, you could stamp and cut a whole bunch of these fruits and just kind of have them ready. Like a bartender, right? They have all their garnishes at the ready in the little box. And then you could just make a whole bunch of things. They'll be all set. I'm not even going to put the blender pen down because that's pretty, you don't have to worry about it. All right, I'm just going to put a little glue so then it actually kind of pops up a little bit. Just want to make sure it's within the card. It's within the glass. I don't want it to be. There we go. I had a really nice what was it? It was a lavender spritz. It was mocktail. It was really good. All right, so we're just going to put our glass right there. I probably should. It might be too late. Can I move the mint down? There we go. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to use a dimensional just to pop the lemon wedge up. Oh, and now it's too late about the ice cubes, so we're not going to worry about ice cubes. Okay, and then, oh, is my glass crooked? Okay, so now I also cut like little, just tiny little strips. They are, where's my ruler? They are 3/8 inches wide, so kind of skinny, but the words in this stamp set are also kind of skinny. So I've been putting either "Let's Celebrate" or "It's Your Day" on the front. I already have this one on a block. Please don't look how dirty my blocks are. They will be cleaned. But I'm just stamping them. Okay, on the little strips. And then I'm just trimming them down with scissors. And I'll put that right here. So let's see. I haven't done this before, but why not? Let's put that little raspberry there. I'll just glue it down. I haven't used the raspberry yet. Okay, in the "Let's Celebrate," we're going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to use just the edges here because they're skinnier, or you can just take one dimensional and cut it in half, or if you have that foam strips, that's perfect for this. All right, and this I'm going to have right there. So that looks like a tasty drink. So now this will go here, so I'm just going to put glue on this side. Go on top like that. That will go like that. Bit of press. And so I still have this half lemon wedge. So what I can do is add it right there. I could have stamped, although not a half lemon wedge, but I could have stamped like a strawberry. This one I think I had an extra strawberry, I glued it in. But you can stamp in there, but it's kind of nice if you just have extra fruit, you can just put it in there. So that looks delicious. All right, move this aside, you can see all the cards. All right, so this is the one we just made. Again, if you know the name of this fold, please let me know in the comments or send me an email, because I'd like to put that in the description so when people are looking for cards on how to make them, I can help them. Just showing you all of that one. This one I stamped in and I just colored. That one I didn't put anything yet. I like the umbrella, it's kind of fun. And then the martini, I had to look it up because I didn't really know it was in a martini, and I discovered that lemon was in it with the olives, and there is that olive stick in there, so it's kind of fun. So I hope you think it's fun. And hopefully I'll do some cards too that uses just the fruit versus just, you know, them together. But it is kind of fun, sweet. So you get, if you want to buy the whole super sweet, you get the, and I'm sure it has a better name than super sweet, but you get the dies, you get the stamp set, you get the embossing folders, and you get the paper. And I think there's a spool of ribbon that goes with it too, the super sweet. So hopefully you liked it. Let me know in the comments, certainly. And if you are not receiving my weekly emails, I send an email out every Tuesday morning. If you're not getting them, please sign up. Just visit my website at mailsomethingpretty.com and just put your name and your email in the sidebar, and you'll get a free tutorial, plus you'll be on my mailing list. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and enjoy this suite. It is super fun. Bye-bye.